Francisca Salcedo, and Donna Ingram Parnell. And you can come in any order, and you will have 3 minutes each.
Okay, so I want to speak to the fact of there's a culture of secrecy in San Diego Unified, and the school board needs to start addressing this. The policy manual for the San Diego School Board states that recognizing public schools belong to the community, and its primary obligation is to the citizens and to keep the public informed. That's not happening right now. You guys were just talking about all the lawsuits in this school district in closed session. There was a time when the school board had it in an open session. Here's an example. It explains the lawsuit, what's happening, what the board has approved. That's something that the school district needs to know, especially in the case of all these sexual molestation lawsuits that are going on. It was so difficult to get the chief of police, Ruben Littlejohn, to provide the statistics for the crimes in San Diego City schools. The last time it was updated was because I asked for it, and that was 3 years ago. So I looked at those statistics, and there have been over 100 reported sex offenses in city schools. What schools were those? What was done about it? And this is scary because this is just the 100 reported sex offenses, not the unreported, which is what you guys are being sued about, that you're keeping these molestation cases secret. And that's bad, because when you have other children that are victims of sexual molestation, they don't know that it's happening, and it's not being investigated properly. So this board needs to ask, why are lawsuits being handled in secrecy now? And if the reason is that it will hurt litigation, that's not a good enough reason, and that's a coward's answer to avoid the scrutiny of the public. This victimization of children needs to be discussed in a public session. You lost 25 students at Green Elementary. That's the fallout that this district has when parents don't trust schools to keep their children safe, to protect them from sexual molestation.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Francisca Salcedo, and I'm here today with my children, Annalise, who's the 4th grader at Rodriguez Elementary, and with my son Eric. He is 3 years old, and he is receiving special education services. Well, first, I want to express my support for my fellow mom, Valentina Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez is also a district teacher, even though I don't know her personally. For the past year, I have witnessed her sincere advocacy efforts on behalf of English learners. Second, I want to say how disappointed and sad I am with the way this board and superintendent treat honest and hardworking principals who dare advocate for their students and communities. From what I have seen, this district rewards mediocre and unfair practices and punishes innovation and justice in education. Third, it has become apparent to me that the teachers' union is the de facto school board. How can you, elected board members and superintendents, allow a labor union to make crucial educational decisions for all our students, including complex special education and English learner decisions? How can you invite the teachers union to a vital discussion on the future of our special education teaching practices, but fail to invite the CAC in spite of the chairperson's protests? I would like you to please answer these 2 questions.
Thank you for your comments, and your comments help us to improve the conditions for all students, so we will direct your comments to the superintendent.
Okay, yes.
This is not an exchange of I just wanted to share that information for you and all folks that are able to come forward during non-agenda public comment.
Okay, as a tax-paying citizen and a parent, I would ask that this issue of parental involvement, adequate advisory committee involvement, and inclusion be addressed in next week's board of meeting. I ask that it be added as an agenda item, please. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Good evening, President Foster, fellow board members, and Superintendent Martin. We are here today to talk to you about what is best for our Lee community. We are requesting that all staff be allowed to remain in place for the 2015-2016 school year to allow for solidarity in our community as we face yet another hurdle in our quest to provide our students with a stable learning environment.
A series of unfortunate events. With constant disruptions in leadership, we're frequently involved in unwanted and unsolicited media attention. Once again, we are days away from yet another onslaught of media attention due to interest and heated debate regarding our school's name, Robert E. Lee. While our enrollment numbers have fluctuated year to year, during this current school year, our teaching staff, K through 3rd, has at least 20 students. The loss of a colleague will increase the K through 3rd class size to above the 24-to-1 ratio.
My friend and colleague has touched the lives of more than 400 Lee students and families over the last 18 years of her career. Her heart and our hearts break at the injustice of having to be involuntarily accessed after dedicating her teaching career to the Lee community. Therefore, any additional consideration extended to our site would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. So we appreciate all comments, as I mentioned before, to improve teaching and learning, and we appreciate your comments and your service to our students. I don't see that there are any other speakers for non-agenda public comment, so if we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I believe that today we have the color guard from Mira Mesa High School. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well done, Mira Mesa Color Guard. You may now be seated. So I'd like to call today's agenda, our meeting to order with all board members present. And I would like to welcome everyone to today's meeting. If you wish to address the board, please fill out a speaker's slip at one of the exits and then present that to our board officer, Cheryl Ward. And also to just remind the public, per board bylaw 1025, public testimony on agenda items is limited to a maximum of 20 minutes, 10 minutes per opposing viewpoint. And non-agenda public comment was just heard a little after 5 o'clock. And can I have one of our board members adopt the agenda, make a motion?
I'll move to adopt the agenda.
Do I have a second? Okay. All in favor, please vote. That passes unanimously. And are there any reportable actions? General Counsel?
Yes, thank you. The board voted in closed session by a vote of 5-0 to approve intervention in the case entitled State of California ex rel versus multiple defendants. The board also voted 5-0 to authorize litigation against an unidentified party at this point in time because that litigation has not yet been initiated. And the board authorized in closed session by a vote of 5-0 to defend the state court action entitled Guerreri versus Duran et al.
Thank you, General Counsel Donovan. And then Superintendent Martin, I believe you may have some administrative assignments to report out.
Thank you, President Foster. I have 2 management appointments to report this evening. Our program manager for GATE, Stephanie Saminsky, and interim principal at Bird Rock Elementary School, Mary Taylor.
And Superintendent Martin, moving right along, you probably have your superintendent report.
I do. Thank you. Saturday night was the 25th annual Salute to Teachers event. I know Trustee Foster was able to greet our teachers, and I don't think I saw the other trustees, but I'm not positive. We were recognizing our salute. The Salute to Teachers event is sponsored by Cox Communication every year, and the MCs talk about the fact that this is an event that is unparalleled across the nation. They do it like a Hollywood performance, and having all the teachers from all schools in the county, all districts in the county, all 42 districts are represented. So there were 44 teachers in the county nominated this year, and 10 finalists were announced that night, and 5 of the 10 finalists were awarded Teacher of the Year, and San Diego Unified's very proud to say that we had another Teacher of the Year recognized this year, which I'll talk about in a minute. Actually, the first Teacher of the Year from Morse in at least the last 20 years, as far back as I could look at the records, was recognized tonight. 2014, Ken Hirschman from Crawford High School was recognized. 2013, Steven Santana from Lewis Middle School were recognized as finalists, but we also had a finalist at this particular award event. There she is, but I'll get to her in a second. Here are the 2015-16 County Teachers of the Year, and you can see that our very own teacher from Morse High School, Shirley Parrish Miranda, was being recognized along with Paul Messerly from Rancho Bernardo High School and Poway Unified, Doug Green from Carlsbad High School, and Janet Ratkovic Phelan from Sevick School and Cajon Valley Union School District, and Armando Leon from Mar Vista Academy, Sweetwater Union High School District, and the person on the far right is one of the hosts for the evening, Sherry Lewis. So we're very proud of Miranda being recognized, and over the last decade, San Diego Unified, it goes back to 1974, San Diego Unified teachers being recognized as County Teacher of the Year in the top 5, but over the past 10 years, I just look back at a decade, we've had 7 teachers from San Diego Unified make it to the top 5 in the county. So in 2014, last year, we had Compet Pease from Wilson Middle School. In 2012, we had Mark Alcorn from Lee Elementary School. In 2010, Kelly Kovacic was a runner-up. She also became California Teacher of the Year. In 2009, Theodosia Ballard from Porter. 2007, Eduardo Ochoa from Marston Middle School at the time. 2006, Aaron Magias from Henry High School. And 2005, Stan Murphy from San Diego High School. So we get to add to the list this year over the last decade, proudly having Shirley Miranda represent San Diego Unified in this distinguished honor, being recognized as one of the top 5 in the county. So there she is, and you can see it's a live televised event. They play it over and over again on Cox Channel 4, I believe. I think that's the channel. If you didn't see it, and it does look like very much of a what's that called, like Academy Awards event. to tell you a little bit more about Shirley Miranda, as I said, she's a computer science and math teacher, 10th through 12th grade at Morris High School. She left her job as a software engineer to become a teacher, and she believes in forming strong relationships with her students so that they feel seen and understood. And one of her practices is to greet students at the door every day and then thank them as they exit, because she believes from her application and her words that respect and relationships help close the achievement gap, especially with at-risk students, and it's one of her core values. She prides herself on steering students to pursue an education in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics because of her own background in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Her own career choice, she says, was inspired by a teacher who encouraged her to enter the science fair, and that's how she became an engineer and then ultimately left the profession to come back to teaching, to give back to other students. So we're very proud to have her represent our district as one of the 5 County Teachers of the Year. We weren't finished that night. There was a lot of fanfare around announcing the 10 finalists, so I wanted to recognize Mary Lou Baranowski from Lindbergh Schweitzer. Although she didn't make it to the top 5, she was listed as one of the 10 finalists, and she is a PE teacher at Lindbergh Schweitzer, and she calls herself an ambassador for health and fitness. Her commitment to students, personal commitment to staying fit by promoting and creating opportunities for students to be physically healthy, because we know healthy body and mind are part of what it takes to be successful, and she's brought many, many programs to the school and considers herself the leader in promoting physical activity and physical education at her school, but across the district, and now her voice as becoming a finalist is one that more people can learn from. And I learned that she also attended the same college that I attended at University of Wisconsin La Crosse, which is a pretty small college, pretty far away from here, so it's kind of a coincidence. And I definitely let University of Wisconsin La Crosse know that one of their graduates made it to this final distinction. And that evening, at the event at the Balboa Theater, there was a performance by an entertainer, and he's one of the entertainers that works with Burbank Elementary School through the Presidential Commission on Arts and Humanities, the Turnaround Arts program that we have in place at Burbank Elementary. The performer this evening was one of the artists that works with the school, and they work with a local organization called Guitars in the Classroom. So the students got to get up on stage with the Burbank Ukulele Choir and perform in front of a packed house at Balboa Theater on live television, and they definitely took down the house. So it's great to see our students from Burbank promoting the arts and showing how the Arts Turnaround program is beneficial to our students. It was a great evening all around. So thank you.
Thank you. Fellow board members, any board information reports that you'd like to share?
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, I did visit a number of schools in the Kearney cluster at Carson, Linda Vista, Montgomery. Met the new principals there. Very excited about the changes that are taking place. Also, we dedicated the new street, the Comet Way, 1954 Comet Way, for the Kearney High School cluster high school complex. So we're very excited about the new address and the new name. At the Mission Bay High School, we painted a safe pathway. It's our 3rd pathway that we're painting in the Mission Bay cluster to identify intersections where we can have streets intersect and safe walking, safe skateboarding, safe bicycling between our schools. So we did the 3rd one at Mission Bay High School. Very excited about that. Students create the artwork, community comes out and paints, and the city cooperates with us in helping us keep the streets safe. So also took a look at some of our construction projects. Our field project at Korea is underway, and as well as the work we're doing at in La Jolla. And beginning had another exciting football game at Mission Bay High School on their new field. Mission Bay won their 6-0 at their game against another cluster school, La Jolla. So we were making progress. It's been a great addition to the Mission Bay cluster. So I've attended all the cluster meetings at Mission Bay, Point Loma, Kearney, and La Jolla. Also went to the cluster congress, as well as attended a regional cluster meeting of our charter schools. So number of other events. So one of us was really excited about was being with our Crown Point Junior Music Academy students as they played at our Paisan celebration, which is an acknowledgement of our fire and police and safety providers and park and rec people in the Pacific Beach area. Our Crown Point musicians showed up and demonstrated some of their outstanding skills. So had a great couple of weeks and happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other board information reports? No? Okay. So this is like the highlight where we get to hear from our representatives from ASB. And so we'd like to hear from you in terms of what is going on at your respective campuses academically and socially. And so we'll start with you and introduce yourselves.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jesus Martinez, and I'm the AAC president at Claremont High School. I'm also the executive president over the district board, which means we are a council of all the AAC presidents in the district, and we're really working together to have a great anti-bullying month, because October, we signed a resolution 2 years ago. The former council did, and we want to keep that going because we understand that it's a very important subject, and it's something that needs more light shed on it more and more every single day. As far as the council, we'll be having our second meeting tomorrow. We're actually here in this building. We're just upstairs from 3 to 5 p.m. So board members and trustees, you're welcome to stop on by, and we'll give you a little update on what else is going on at our schools. Carly and I actually had a chance to be at Fox 5 News yesterday, and we did a quick segment on Anti-Bullying Awareness Month within our district. So if you go on to fox5news.com, you can click on the Scene on tab and click on the link, and you'll see us there. As far as my school, as you all know, Claremont High School is now part of the Linked Learning Academy system. So we have the Academy of Health and Medical Sciences, the Academy of Business, the Academy of Information Technology, and I'm missing another one. Health Sciences, Business, IT, and Engineering. There we go. They changed their name to the Da Vinci School of Engineering, which is pretty interesting. And we're having a great time with that. They also recently did Fox 5 News segment a few weeks ago to introduce the new building. We got a new building for the Academy of Business, and it's going really well. We're really excited to be, I think, one of the only schools on the West Coast that have this linked learning system. So it's a work in progress, but we're doing really good.
All right, thank you.
And then, hi, I'm Carly Anderson. I am the ASB president over at Patrick Henry. A little bit about myself, since this is my first board meeting. I have been involved in ASB for 4 years. I was freshman class president, sophomore class president, and now I'm ASB president, and I'm also the ASB council secretary. I've also been involved in cheer for 4 years and some other clubs that I'm just really interested in school spirit. But what is going on our campus? So last week, as we talked about, we were on Fox for the bullying prevention. So last week we had our bullying prevention week, and we have a week long of activities for students to participate in to make them feel more welcome. So we started off the week with wearing purple, which is the national color for bullying prevention. So we all wore purple in support. And then also on Tuesday, we passed out more than 500 rainbow ribbons in support of the LGBTQ community. And that was awesome to see everyone get really involved. We also had a picnic in our quad, and we invited the entire student body to come eat lunch with us. So it was really fun, and everyone got involved. And then throughout the week, we also encouraged everyone to meet new people. So that was a great opportunity for the students to meet new people. And we also played positive music during our lunch. So that was awesome. Also, this week is actually our homecoming week. So we have our dance and our pep rally and our game on Friday and Saturday. So we've been getting ready for that. It's quite fun. And then also a few things we're doing on campus. We have a Adopt a Basket drive for household items through the Nile Sisters Development Initiative, and which provides services to refugees, immigrants, and other underserviced community members in San Diego. So we're encouraging students to bring any household items, unused items they have, and bring it to our school so we can donate it. And then another donation drive we're doing is we're collecting donations for the victims of the California fires, and at lunch and at our football games, anytime that a parent or a student can donate money that we're giving to the victims. Yeah, so that's what's going on at Patrick Henry. Thank you.
Thank you
President
both.
Foster, I just have to say
Yes,
that
go
they
ahead.
undersold their performance or their presentation at Fox 5. These two young leaders went with me to Fox 5 to talk about anti-bullying, and I pretty much didn't need to be there. The way they handled the reporters' questions with grace and clarity around the importance of anti-bullying and gave some really specific examples. I was just so impressed to have you represent the heart behind this district's commitment to bullying and anti-bullying week, and that it's being led by students. And I thought one of the most important questions was when the reporter asked you, so what do we do about it? The reporter talked about her 4-year-old being bullied, and what do we do? And Jesus answered, and then Carly followed up with, you don't just stand there. You don't be a bystander. We teach, as leaders, as student leaders, you've taught each other and you're teaching your school site communities that everybody is a part of bullying. It's not a resolution that we pass. It's not a week that we have. We have a voice and we use it, and if we're a bystander, we allow it to happen. We act like it's okay. So you talked about being upstanders and standing up to bullies, and that's the only way for it to stop, and you've really used a very powerful voice in a very public forum, and I was very honored to be with you yesterday on the news.
I am not surprised. You are all very amazing and really represent very well. I have to also share this. At our Lincoln Cluster meeting the other day, we had principals introduce what's happening in terms of teaching and learning and our learning cycles and special programs at the school. They introduced it, but parents and students actually presented. And so that's very powerful when we're able to see you present and represent and have this, what we would call visible and powerful examples of learning. So I just thank you for that, and I had to throw that in there. Moving right along, we have our board consent, and can
I'll
I have
move item F1 and 2.
And do I have a second? Second. Okay, can we please vote? All right. And we don't have speakers on those items. Let me just double check. Okay, so moving on to operational matters.
I'll move item G1. Second.
Okay. And Superintendent Martin, did you want to introduce and make comments?
About G1?
Yes.
G1 are the proposed revisions to the board governance policies that we discussed back in July at the Ballard Center in an open meeting, and then we brought forward the revisions after the summer. We took the input, made the revisions, brought them forward for first reading at the previous board meeting, and tonight is the second reading for action based on the conversations that we've had in the previous 2 public meetings.
And if there are no other further board comments, can we please vote? Okay, and then G2, did you?
I'll move item G2.
Second.
Okay. If there's no other discussions, did you want to comment on?
Thank you, President Foster. This is a memorandum of understanding with our Administrators Association regarding the curriculum planning and modeling with the work that we're taking on as a district through introducing further work in writing workshop. This is actually approved in MOU through collective bargaining. We discussed in closed session on September 15th, and we're bringing it forward for public action tonight around paying our principals a $2,500 stipend to participate in the implementation of the curriculum development, specifically around writing workshop. And our teachers also participate, but the way that we compensate principals for time above and beyond is different. So that's this agreement is in line with that.
Thank you. If there are no other comments, can we please vote? And now,
I'll move item G3, the resolution to recognize October as LGBTQ History Month for all schools and students in San Diego Unified School District.
I'll second.
I think that is an opportunity to make it clear. So it's the resolution recognizing October as LGBT History Month for all schools and students in San Diego Unified School District. And I believe that we have multiple speakers / presentation. And
Trustee Barrera, were you clarifying just the title of the item
Yes.
has the letter Q on, but within the item, we have Q, but at the top, the letter Q is off, so we can change that for the record.
yes.
My
yes.
motion was LGBTQ.
Made that clear.
And
Thank you.
I think it's been seconded, and without any further ado, did Dr. Moore, did you want to introduce your distinguished?
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you for this opportunity. There's been a lot of work, and a lot of different offices in our district have been participating. I hope that all of you have had a moment to see the display at the top of the stairs on the second floor that was put together in partnership with our Race Human Relations Office, the partners from GLSEN and PFLAG, as well as some other community members coming together for that display. But tonight, we've got a very special presentation in honor of our board resolution for LGBTQ History Month, as well as just our resolution in recognizing it as such. And so before I say any more, I would like to bring up one of our teachers, because again, this is a partnership that involves not just the Office of Youth Advocacy, but secondary schools office, student services, and Mick Rabin is a teacher at one of our schools who works with GLSEN as well as coordinates GSAs with other GSA advisors, and so he's got some students to give us a few presentation and a few words about it. But I would like for Mr. Rabin to come up and introduce the students and give you a little glimpse of what they'll speak about.
We forgot to introduce Dr. Moore as our Executive Director of Youth Advocacy, so sorry we didn't do a formal introduction. Thank you, Dr. Moore.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Moore. Thank you, by the way, to Board Trustees Barrera, Foster, Evans, and McQuarrie, as well as Superintendent Martin for floating the idea of a board resolution in favor of LGBT Awareness Month. In discussions with the ongoing discussions of the Safe Schools Task Force, we decided that it would be a good idea to create a little exhibition upstairs. And part of that exhibition, entails statistics, and the statistics as they play out on a national level should inform the work that we do here at the local level, for sure. But a really, really important component that often gets left behind is that the students' voices themselves are often silenced. And part of the deal with LGBT Awareness Month is, as you're aware, the coming out process means it essentially makes it more difficult for discrimination to happen, as you know, when the person who's being discriminated against is a known person, is an actual person that you see, who has a life, who has parents that care about them, who have family, who have interests and concerns and goals and want to be a successful person across the course of their life. It's a little bit harder to do when you know that person. So some visibility, some voice is an essential component, and in that spirit, I wanted to introduce the students tonight so that you can hear directly from them. Before I give the shout out to the students, I do want to mention that a GSA advisor from Hoover High is here. His name is Michael Hugh. Michael, you say wave hi. He's the GSA advisor at Hoover High, and without the support of the GSA advisors, we wouldn't have been able to pull this off. And I want to mention not just Michael, but also some advisors from other schools, and in particular from Lincoln. We have Carly Thurston and John Middleton, and Mr. Moody from UC High, and am I missing somebody? No? Okay, so for right now, those are the people we connected with. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Jamila Bellinger and Michaela Card from Hoover High School, and then Alex Garcia from Lincoln, and Alexandria Galvan from University City High.
I'm here to talk about our poster. At the bottom, we have a grave mark thing, and on the bottom, on the tomb, it says RIP victim, and a victim could be anybody, and the things near the grave can make anybody a victim, like, you know, they don't feel safe at home, so they go to school, and even the school people will bully them, and the teachers, when they see something going on, they will also just step aside and pretend like nothing's happening. Or even the teachers will get at a student for their, like, what they like in the same sex or something. And at the top, we have positive things from, like, students from the school that we should do more than just hand out little colorful little ribbons or do a day of silence. Like, teach the staff and the teachers to be more aware, you know, and support the student even if they don't think, you know, it's right, but, you know, still be on their side, because at least everybody needs one person on their side. And, you know, just make it a safe place for them to come out and be happy and, you know, be good.
Okay. Hello, my name is Jamila, and I'm representing the GSA from Hoover, as you already know. And I came out when I was 7 years old as a bisexual. To my sister, she later told my mom, what if one of us was bisexual? My mom automatically knew it was me. So I have that support, maybe just not from my father's side, but at least I have that support. My friend, on the other hand, hasn't even came out to her mom, because her mom has told her that if she was not heterosexual, she would not accept her as her daughter. So that just brings me, it just makes me think of the people that don't have any type of support at all. Like, what do we do for them? And we already know the statistics that LGBTQIA people do not come to school as often, and they have worse grades because they don't come to school as often as their straight counterparts. But we've been idly standing by to this for so long, and it's time for that to change. You guys are already taking a good step in the right direction with having October being the LGBTQIA History Month and having people being aware of that. But I think it should be even further with having the teachers have some type of training for caring and actually accepting the people of this community, so they can actually feel safe in at least one environment. Maybe not home, but when they come to school, it's a haven for them. So, along with that, I just want my community, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, and asexual, including queer questioning, to feel more comfortable the way I do with just telling people who I am. And I want them to be happily who they are, despite where they are, just publicly happy. And since it's the 21st century, I think it's time for the LGBTQIA not to be tolerated in a society, but to actually be accepted.
Hey, my name is Alexandra Zaya Garcia, and I represent Lincoln High School. I'm the GSA president of Lincoln High School. Since this year, I've been involved in those type of activities and clubs since my freshman year. And right here, I did a poster of one of the celebrities who LGBT member of the community, and his name is RuPaul. And there's 4 reasons why I chose RuPaul. One of them was that we're both from San Diego, California. The second one is that he's a colored person, just like I am. And for many years, us colored people been like looked down on, and we've been like just not looked as humans. And the third reason is that we're both gay. We're both gay males and proud of being gay male. And for many years, it's 2015, and we barely legalized gay marriage in all the states. And I feel like we need to do more in this community and society, because it's October month for the LGBT, and there's no, like, a lot of people don't know it's the month for LGBT. And the fourth reason is that we're all humans, and everybody in this room, we all want to be accepted as a human, not for our color, for our gender, or our sexuality, but to be human. And we want to be respected, because the LGBT community is a beautiful community that we should embrace and not just leave in the shadow. So yeah, that's the reason why I chose RuPaul, and because he's a very flamboyant person and he's not ashamed to be flamboyant, and that's the reason why I chose RuPaul.
Hello, members of the board. My name is Alexandria Galvan. I am from University City High School, and I am the leader of my LGBTQ+ club. I am transgender. I just came out in summer, and I've had the amazing support of my family, but I know that many other people in my community don't. In our current curriculum, there's a severe lack of inclusiveness of LGBT issues. In my 12 years as a student of the San Diego Unified School District, I've never had one class where we were taught anything about my community, whether it be issues or history. History class taught me that only white men can make differences. Sex education was exclusively from a heterosexual perspective. According to SB 48, the Fair Education Act, the LGBT community is supposed to be included in our curriculum, but it isn't. I do not see myself or people like me included in my educational environment, and that, as a result, makes me feel very distant from it. It doesn't make me feel like that I'm included. The place that is supposed to be where I can learn and grow, instead it becomes a place where I'm implicitly told that we do not matter enough to be discussed. In history class, names of great activists who fought for my civil rights, like Sylvia Rivera, Marsha P. Johnson, and Christine Jorgensen, they aren't talked about. Their histories are completely blocked out from the history books. And in sex ed, I am never taught how to care for my body or how to stay safe. While gay men and bisexual men, as well as trans women, are the most at-risk groups for HIV infection, we are not taught how to be safe. We aren't included in these discussions at all. The district must work to make the curriculum much more inclusive of the LGBT community. Blocking LGBT history and sex education is denying us a part in social cohesion. It also denies straight students a full view of the world and allows the perpetuation of many harmful myths, which in turn gives them the feeling of righteousness when they commit acts of violence against us. Lack of inclusiveness opens us up to violence and alienation by our peers. Society tells us that we don't matter, but we do matter, and we deserve to be recognized. I'm so grateful for the opportunity you have given me and the rest of the GSA leaders to talk to you. I'm so happy that I'm able to talk to you and talk to you about the issues that we are really facing. So I really hope that this and listening to us becomes a first positive step to change the curriculum and allowing us to be more included in the school curriculum. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm just waiting for more. Oh my goodness, you all are amazing. We don't even have, well, I'm speaking for everyone, but we don't have adequate words to describe how powerful. You're just beginning. You have so much more to say and do, and yet right now, I'm in awe. You're already transforming hearts, minds, souls, and, oh wait, I feel like I'm preaching, but I think that folks will watch this telecast and want to change and get into action and make a difference. You certainly are. So I just wanted to say that and say thank you. Wow. Oh, and the presentation, the display upstairs, Trustee Beiser, did I not stop you and say that is the most incredible presentation that I've seen? The 3 years that I've been walking these hallways, did I not tell you that? And it is. So anyway, I just had to.
President Foster.
Yes.
I just wanted to actually comment on that display on the stairways and upstairs. I saw them putting it up last week. And unfortunately, there are not that many of us that trudge up those stairs to the second or the third floor. And I'd really like to put out the idea that this group or some other group would actually go and make a little film walking up the stairs, showing the timeline, showing up there the pictures, the different people who have stood out from the community. And all that's been accomplished. Obviously, you guys know better how to do this. You can add some music and whatever else and put it on social media, send it out to the schools. You can take clips of what you've said today, which has been recorded on the webcast, and produce that. I mean, all of this. One of you looked surprised that it was recorded, but it was. and so there's a lot we can do, but I just think this is such a powerful message, and I don't want it to only fall upon the ears of just a few people, or that display to fall on the eyes of just a few people. So anything that can be done in that regard. I know that also the ASB Council of Presidents is going to be meeting in the next day or two, right, or up there too, so maybe you can arrange something in terms of getting that information out to the schools. But thanks a lot for the presentation.
I want to say thank you so much for you guys for having the courage to come down here and speak to the Board of Education about what's going on in our schools. Some of you mentioned that we have some staff members in our schools that stand by and pretend like nothing's happening while there's bullying going on in our schools. We heard one of you mention and call for all staff to be trained on LGBTQ issues, to understand how important it is to create safe learning environments at every school, for even some places in our schools to be safe, but every school to be safe. I also heard you talk about how important it is to have role models, whether it's RuPaul or Harvey Milk or Chris Kehoe or Tony Atkins or Todd Gloria or many of the other local people that we have that are making a difference in our community who also just happen to be gay or lesbian or transgender. We also heard a very clear and articulate message that going through our classes in our schools, we're violating California state law, the Fair Education Act, which says very clearly that we must include LGBT curriculum, history. What's the history of the gay rights movement? When I run into teenagers that are LGBT or that are involved in gay-straight alliances and ask them, do they know who Harvey Milk is? Most of the students have no clue who their own trailblazers are. They don't even know what Stonewall riots were in New York. They don't know the parallels between the civil rights movement with Martin Luther King Jr., Cesar Chavez, workers' rights movement, and the LGBT gay rights movement. They don't know that those are all linked in history because we edit that out in a lot of our classrooms. We've got to stop. We must embrace, as a school district, the Fair Education Act and teach all of our children all of our history. And I really appreciate your articulating that message again. This board voted 5-0 to support mandatory LGBT training for all staff, and asking the superintendent to come forward with concrete plans to make that happen. This board voted 5-0 unanimously to take other steps to make our schools safe and to make sure that our children are being taught the curriculum that we're being directed by the state of California to do. So I want to say thank you, and I wholeheartedly support the resolution. And I know that resolutions are only a piece of paper, but a resolution is a statement of values. And this board, I know, values all of our children, including our LGBTQIA kids. You guys are an important part of our school. Continue to make a difference and get out there and organize. Organize more kids to stand up and call for what's right in their schools. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to put an exclamation point right there. The resolution should be
in our book.
Oh, usually it's in our brown folder.
The end of section, the last page of section G.
Okay. All right.
Save the best for last.
So I think we're going to start with Jesus, and then we'll work this way. Oh, or do you have it? The first whereas, and then we just continue.
Pass it down.
That's our tradition.
You go ahead and start reading the first whereas and then hand it to me and I'll read the next one.
All right. Whereas since 1998, the month of October is nationally recognized as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender LGBT History Month. And
whereas San Diego Unified School District is committed to maintaining safe, inclusive environments wherein each and every one of our students can thrive.
Whereas October is also designated as Bullying Prevention Month, staff members and students are developing and coordinating activities that reiterate commitment to diversity, inclusiveness, and safety, including... Let me do the whole.
Oh, yeah.
Including allowing students to learn of the various forms of bullying, including cyber, verbal, physical, exclusion, and lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender questioning bullying. Creating vibrant exhibits at the Eugene Brucker Education Center and on district campuses to celebrate the month. Implementing history and social studies lessons that highlight the contributions of members of the LGBTQ community as prescribed by the Fair Education Act, SB 28. Providing Out for Safe Schools badges for employees to visibly show their support for safe and inclusive schools. And
whereas the LGBTQ Community Advisory Committee will meet regularly to provide district leadership with ongoing input throughout the year on plans to implement inclusive curricula, maintain safe environments, and respond to the needs of students. And
now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the San Diego Unified School District recognizes October as LGBTQ History Month, and the superintendent and other appropriate staff will initiate activities to celebrate this month in schools accordingly.
Passed and adopted by the Board of Education of San Diego Unified School District at a regular meeting held this 13th day of October 2015.
So be it.
Please vote.
And you can say ditto. Thank you. And we've had a motion and a second, and can we please vote? And that passes unanimously. Nice. And I'd also like to acknowledge Ajin Shahid, who I know was very instrumental in working with this as well. Okay. All right.
I'll move item H1, President Foster.
Okay, thank
Second.
you. Okay. Superintendent Martin, did you want to introduce or make any comments?
No. H1 is a modernization negative declaration that reflects the full proposed scope of work as identified in the June 2013 Facilities Master Plan that was developed with various stakeholders to include community and staff members, and this is at Grant Elementary. All phases of the Grant Master Plan are considered in this MND that we're bringing forward tonight.
There are no further comments. Can we please vote? And that passes.
I'll move the superintendent's consent agenda item 8I.
I'd like to remove an item I-13.
Yeah, I second the motion to approve all except I-13.
Thank you. Okay, please vote. Okay, and then we'll take I-13 separately.
I'll move item I-13.
Second.
I will be abstaining from discussion and voting. My son works with ProQuest, which the contract is involved. So while it's not a direct conflict, it could be the appearance of conflict, so I'm choosing to abstain.
Thank you. So please vote. Okay. Do we need to do that again?
Can you revote, please?
Okay. Please vote. Okay. That passes 4 and with 1 abstention. Okay, and if there are no non-agenda public comments at the end of the meeting, and it seems that there are none, this meeting is adjourned.
I know. Oh, my God.
Well, I'll be there late.